Well, welcome back to Life on Cars. We're back in the chilly garage again today because we need to finish the door job off. Remember, we had a problem with the electric window. So today's job is to find out if we can sort out the electric window and get it running up and down in the door a little bit smoother. But as per usual, the job ended up escalating slightly. So come on, let's find out what happened. Let's go. Alright, so I've peeled the plastic sheeting back and just gently stuck it out of the way because we can see the mechanism now. There's the motor in the bottom, the chains, and we've got a cog up there, look, with where the chain goes onto. So my initial thoughts are to just see if I can lubricate the mechanism without removing it. I've got some ideas. So basically I'm going to try and lubricate all the channels with silicone spray that the window runs up and down in, and then I'm going to lubricate the chain and see if I can get to the cogs as well, top and bottom. I can see the bearing, so to be fair, the chain looks okay. It's not rusty or anything, and the grease is a bit, maybe potentially a little bit dry. So I wonder if it's just down to lubrication. So that's got to be the first thing to try, isn't it, before we think about having to take the whole thing out, which could be challenging. So let's have a look at it working first, shall we? Right, I've just popped the ignition back on. Let's have a look what happens. Oh, what's that? Some sort of tension mechanism. Oh, there's another pulley there, look, with cables on it. Seems free, but we can lubricate that as well. One thing's for sure, it's a complicated mechanism, isn't it? It's just tripped out again. But it doesn't like coming up at all. Yeah. See, when it's in the right, it's right up there. When you initially drop it, it's got a fair bit of speed. Look, but then it struggles on the up. So right, lubricant. Just notice as well, if you peer in there, you can see another pulley, and you can see quite a lot of the window guide as well, so I can get some silicone spray. we've got to try lubrication first, because I can see all the guttering, I can see the guides, I can see the mechanism, I can see the chain and the cogs. So yeah, I think we'll go for lubrication. Even if I can improve it, maybe like 50%, that would be good, wouldn't it? As long as it doesn't be tripping out on me when I'm trying to put the window up and down. Let's get some silicone spray in those gutters, window guides, whatever you want to call them. Get some silicone spray in them first, and we'll give these little nylon wheels a little spray with silicone as well, and the cables. There's another one in there, look. Give that one a go, and let's just see if that's made a difference so far. All I've done so far is lubricate the window guides and the pulleys with silicone. I haven't touched the chain yet. Look how much better it is on the drop. It flies down now. It's still a bit slow on the up, but it doesn't trip out. Watch. Look at that. It doesn't trip. I haven't even touched the chain yet. It's flying down. Like I say, it's a bit slow on the up, but it's improved already, look. I think I'm on the right lines here. Let's see what we can do with the chain next. Right, let me try and explain what I've done so far. So I've lubricated all the runners with silicone and all the plastic pulleys as well with silicone. And then I've just used a bit of WD on the chain, and I've cleaned off all the old grease. I'm going to do it again because there's still a few bits of old grease, because I think the old grease has gone a bit hard, if that makes sense. But you can see there I'm slowly but surely cleaning the chain up just by putting a bit of WD on it and then wiping that off. And at the same time it's probably freeing the chain off it, because the chain was getting a bit sticky. And then my plan will be to, once I'm happy with it, I'll put some spray grease back on the chain. But I think all this is needed is a bit of a lubricant service, because we are already somewhere near. So I'll give you a quick demo. So this is window going down. Flies down. Okay, and this is window going up. Better. So it's not flying up, but it's not too bad, that, is it? Remember, the engine's not running either, so we're only using battery power. We're not on alternator voltage, if you know what I mean. When the engine's running, you have a bit of a higher voltage, so I imagine it would go up even faster with the engine running. So let me show you that again. So down, 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, and it's down. Up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds and it's up. That's alright, isn't it? And it's not tripping out anymore, so I don't think it's worth, at this stage, stripping all the mechanism out, because I think it just needed a good lubricant service. So I'm going to do a bit more degreasing of the chain, and then I'm going to put some spray grease on it, and then we'll have one final check around. Well guys, as per usual, the job has escalated just slightly. Let me show you, come on. So first off, I've decided to get rid of this horrible old vapour seal because it's just falling to bits. So I've took the whole lot off. I'm going to replace that. It's only plastic. I'll be able to make another one out of them, out of some thick plastic, make a new vapour seal. So yeah, I've took the whole vapour seal off the door. But while I was doing that, I've noticed the speakers are absolutely shot. The cardboard membrane, look, the paper membrane is completely disintegrated all the way around the big bass speaker here. It's got quite a high-end stereo, this, for its time. It's also got these mid-range speakers up here. You can see this one's split as well. So now I've seen it, they're going to have to come out, aren't they? I think I will eventually upgrade the stereo. It's a nice stereo. It works. It's a tape player. Doesn't have a make on it. I don't know whether these were. I'm not quite sure what make these were. Somebody might be able to tell me. But I'm thinking of getting like a period head unit at some point. One that looks old but is new with Bluetooth, etc. Anyway, if I'm doing that, I might as well. Well, I'm not going to leave these speakers, am I? I mean, look at them. It's just gone. No wonder there was a bit of crackling I noticed when I was last using the stereo. So yeah, come on, we'll get these taken out and we'll investigate getting some new ones in at the same time. They're just on 4 screws and then there'll be a couple of connections behind. Right, there's the speakers out. Let's take them in the house and have a quick look. So with the speakers removed from the car, I can bring you in for a close look to see why they are no longer any good. They're supposed to be a... Basically, we've lost the whole circumference of the speaker there all the way around. We have lost the material that connects this vibrating mechanism to the outside. So basically the speaker membrane is completely disintegrated on that speaker. And it's starting to do it on the tweeter as well. You can see there, look, it's starting to split away. So I'm going to replace the speakers while we've got the door in bits. Makes sense, so we don't have to go back in again. Because I'm either going to keep the original stereo or I'll upgrade the stereo in the future. But the speakers need to be right. So they're actually both housed in like a speaker housing. So let's see if we can figure out how we can separate the speakers from the housing. And then hopefully we can match up some new speakers with the correct diameter to go back into the original housings. So if we flip the speaker over and just carefully peel back the foam, there is some tabs which we just need to straighten out. There's a tab on each corner, and then I think the speaker should come out of its holder. Let's have a look, see if I can straighten these out with a pair of pliers. 1, 2, 3. Right, I think that might come out now. Yeah, see the tabs there, look, there's one. So hopefully with a bit of luck we should be able to bring the speaker out. There we are. Alright, we've got the speaker out, or what's left of it. So we can try and match up a new pair of those now for the front doors, because I will be doing it on the passenger side door as well. Right, I'm just going to separate this speaker from its housing as well. I think this one's just glued in, so if we're careful we might just be able to break the seal by running the screwdriver around. There we are. Yeah, I think it's coming out now. There we are. Alright. Right. Two knackered old speakers. Let's see if we can find some new ones then. Right, situation report. I've got the chain down, cleaned down as nice as I can. I've got rid of most of the old grease. So I've not re-lubricated the chain yet. I've basically siliconed up all the pulleys, all the runners and things like that. And I think, so let me show you now where we're at with the speed of this. Not bad at all. Now remember, the ignition's off, so it'll go faster when the engine's running with a bit more voltage, but that's pretty smooth now, so I'm quite happy with that. It's a bit slower on the rise, but it's pushing up a heavy window. So right, what we need to do now to finish the service off is to give the chain a good lubrication with some spray grease. But before I do that, I'm going to do something else. So before I start spraying grease around into the door, one of the things I like to do on cars of this age or older, if I'm going to put new speakers in, I am just going to improve the sound deadening a little bit inside the door. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So back in the day, Rolls-Royce didn't put a huge amount of sound deadening inside the doors. You can see there's like a very thin cardboard looking sheet there, very, very thin, and not much else. So by modern standards, we can improve that a little bit by adding some extra sound deadening, and I'll probably put some around the speaker apertures as well, and just try and generally add a little bit of acoustic sound deadening to the door before we look at putting the new speakers in. So what I'm going to use for that is this sort of stuff. This is sound deadening matting. I've got some of this knocking around in the garage from Dodo Mat. It's a British company, and it's self-adhesive, so you just peel the backing off, and then you can stick it inside the door as much as you can, and that will just help the sound quality, and it will just reduce a little bit of sound deadening. You don't have to do this, but it's just something I do. I'll plan to do this on my MR2 as well when I upgrade the door speakers in the future, but yeah, it's just a good idea to do this, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll get that done now. So I'll show you where I've got to with it so far. So as you can see there, we've got some sound deadening sheets inside the door, as far along as I can get. Used about 2.5 sheets in there, and I've just been, what you've just seen me doing there, I've just been adding a little bit of sound deadening around the apertures where the speakers are going to go in. It just all helps to reduce the, what we call the NHV in technical terms, noise, harshness and vibration, but it also just adds to helping the acoustics as well of the new speaker. So I've just put a little bit around the, I may add to this yet when I put the new speakers in. We'll see what we're going to do, and obviously I am going to replace the vapor barrier as well. But if you fancy doing this yourself, If it's colder weather, get yourself a heat gun, because it just helps to soften the backing of the sound deadening. So it has like an aluminium foil on one side, and then it's actually, I think they call it butyl. So it's like a sticky rubbery substance that you can bend and form to different shapes. So yeah, it's fairly easy to fit. Like I say, if it's cold weather, get a bit of heat on. I always use a bit of a roller as well, just to help roll it on if you can. You can actually buy the proper rollers, but I'm just using a lint roller here just to get the edges a little bit better. But yeah, it's gone on fine. It's not going to come off, that's for sure. So yeah, this is just me being a little bit OCD. Just belts and braces. I just like to do things properly as best I can. So if I see an opportunity to add a bit of sound deadening, then why not? It is a Rolls-Royce after all, and it deserves it. Alright, I've just got off the phone with IntroCar, and it turns out that we can get the speakers. They do have a matching set that will, a modern version if you like, of the originals. So while those are on their way to me, there's other bits we can do. We can get the door cards cleaned up and start doing a bit of prep work. So come on, let's go. So it's a good opportunity to give these panels a bit of a clean up, a deep clean, while we've got them off. You can see I've got quite a lot of dirt along the bottom edges and around the touch points. So yeah, it'll be nice to give this leather panel a bit of a deep clean. So I'm going to get my lotions and potions out. Going to be going with a bit of interior shampoo first, and then by Autoglim. I'm not sponsored by Autoglim. And some leather cleaner as well from Autoglim, and then when it's finished I'll give it a feed as well. So I've got this panel to do. Right, that's that panel done. It's cleaned up quite nice. It was a bit dull. It had some marks on it, so quite pleased with that. I'll probably finish that off with like a leather feed as well, just to protect it. So I've got the other panels to do now, so I'll get cracking. So I'm going to do this one now. I've got a few heel marks along here. You can probably just make them out. And yeah, it's just generally a little bit dirty in a few areas. So let's see if we can bring this one back a little bit. Well, quite pleasingly, all those marks have come off the bottom of the door where it's been kicked. Look, I'm really pleased with that. It's got rid of all the marks, and the actual colour of the leather's coming through nice again. Got rid of all them scuff marks off there. And yeah, the only thing I've forgotten to do, which I'm going to do now, is the inside of the door pocket is really quite dirty, look. So I'm going to clean that up, because that, you put your hand in there when it's back together, that's your door pocket. So I'm going to give that a bit of a clean out, and then this one should be done. There we are then, there's the inside of that pocket nicely cleaned out. So yeah, I've never seen a door card of this quality before. Normally door cards, as they're known as, they're actually made of cardboard, but this one's made of plywood, and the leather's been glued and stapled over the top. Really, really good quality. So yeah, it's got a fair bit of weight to it as well, actually. So yeah, it's looking a lot better now with all those marks off. So I'll set that to one side and do the last few bits. So we've got this door handle, which, if you remember, it comes in two bits. The bottom bit I just think needs a clean. It's just a few little marks on it here and there. But the actual door handle is, the leather's a little bit, as you can see, lost a bit of its colouring where people's hands have been on. So I'm going to try a different product on that. I'm going to try some leather conditioning balm on this handle just to see if we can get rid of some of those marks. So let's see how it comes out. Well, there we are then. It's taken the edge off it a little bit. Let's bring you into the light a little bit better. You see there, it's taken the edge off some of that scuffing. It's not perfect. I mean, it's 30-year-old. It's had a few hands on it, and it's had a few arms resting on it. But I don't know. Later on down the line, at least I know I can take this off quite easily. I may investigate getting that recoloured properly. But for now, it's cleaned up all right. It's better than it was anyway. So I mean, from a distance, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? So right, what's next? I've just found some plastic sheeting in the garage, which is going to do for my new vapor seal. I think it's originally from the building trade. So we'll get a piece of this cut out, get a vapor seal made. I've just done a temporary fit to the door there before I put the speakers in, just cutting the holes out and where the switches are. I'll neaten it all up when I do the final fit. I'm going to use a butol strip to seal this back onto the door when I've finished as well. You'll see me doing that. So right, I think we're ready now to look at the speaker installation. Well, our parts have arrived from IntroCar. So they've sent me this speaker set here, so SXE1325S. They're looking great. And then we've got two mid-range speakers here as well. So let's get these unboxed and then we'll see what we've got. These are looking good. So same spec as before, 4 ohms. And hopefully let's see if these will fit in the original housings. And then we've got our little mid-range speakers as well, so they all look good quality. So let's see if they'll fit in the original housings. Okay, as you can see, I have just made a small modification to the original speaker housings because I do want to reuse these. There's a reason that these are fitted, and I just needed to enlarge the hole out slightly, and now these new speakers will fit inside there nicely, and then I'm going to bolt them in. So you might be wondering why I'm messing around with these. Well, see that shield there? That is designed to keep water from entering the back of the speaker if any water gets between the door glass and the seal and runs down inside the door. That stops water going into the back of the speaker. So it's important to reuse them if we can. So it looks like we're able to. And I've been able to do the same with the mid-range as well. So I did have to take a little bit of plastic off the back of there, but the mid-range speaker will sit in there now. So happy days. Let's get the big one bolted in, and then we should be ready to fit them into the door. Okay, see what I've done there? I've just used some M5 panhead screws, made some holes through the original casing, and I've bolted that in using some nylock washers on the back, so it's nice and secure. So that speaker should be ready to go back in. I think these will clear because the hole you'll see when we put it back in the car is a bigger diameter, so I think they'll just go inside the door. They won't interfere with anything with a bit of luck. So let's see. Right, looks like we're ready to go in. I've just had to fit a new terminal on there because the other one had fallen off, but I think we're ready to go now. I've got the original gasket on the back of there, look, so let's get this plugged in and get it fitted. Alright, there's one in. There we are, there's the mid-range in. All I've done to hold that speaker in is I've just used, as you can see there, just a bit of a bigger washer, which just overlaps the mid-range outer metal bit slightly, and it's just grabbed hold of it, and that's got that nice and solid in there now. So we'll give these a bit of a test. I wish I could let you hear some Queen to see how good those new speakers are. It's actually, do you know what, the sound in here is really, really good, even though I know probably the rest of the speakers are probably in the same condition. But yeah, we've got some really good sound coming out of this driver's side door now. But unfortunately, I can't let you hear it because of copyright on YouTube. God damn it! Alright, that's the chain all lubed up, and it's performing really, really well now. Look at that going up and down. Happy days. Right, we just need to get the vapor seal fitted now, and we can start putting the trims back on. So what I'm going to use to stick the vapor seal on is this butyl roll. You can buy it in like a roll, like a bead, which I'm going to use to stick the vapor seal back in place. So you can see what I've done there is I've just ran that rubber seal all the way around the door. And now we're going to offer the vapor seal up, and hopefully it'll do what I want it to do. Right, there we are. So the bead has done its job and grabbed a hold of that new vapor seal. So all I'm going to do now is just take a screwdriver and open up the holes for the trim. And we should be ready to go. Get it back on. Don't forget, if you're wondering how all these door trims come off, we do have a video already done for that, so I'll put a link in the video description. So refitting this main trim now, one of the things that's going to be a little bit tricky is getting these clips to align back in the holes. So you've just got to take your time and very carefully try and get these to slot into the various holes in the door. So bear with me while I get this locked into place. Well, that was really easy. No, it wasn't. Probably just took me about an hour and 20 minutes to get those clips to line up on that leather panel. Not easy at all, so if you're going to do this yourself, you need a lot of patience. Anyway, it's on now, it's lovely and tight, and we just need to put the trims back on now. It's done. Thank you. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Bit of a mammoth task in the end, but yeah, we're there. Everything's back together. Everything's lovely, 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 lovely. I'll give you a quick look at the window. Smooth as you like. Just got to tidy all my tools away now, and yeah, well, really, I've got it all to do again on the passenger side at a later date, passenger side front, and then probably, you know, later on in the year, I might even strip the back door panels off as well and give those mechanisms a service. Well, there we are then. I really hope you enjoyed this episode today on Life on Cars. We've learnt a lot, haven't we? We know how to take the door panel off, we know how to service the electric window, and also we figured out how to replace those knackered old speakers. So happy days, and the only thing is now I've probably got it to do on the other 3 doors eventually. So, but never mind, we know how to do it. We've learned something. I hope you've learned something and I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe. Do you know what? I'd love to see if I could get to 10,000 subscribers before the summer. So if you know anybody who maybe would like to start looking at the channel and subscribing, let them know, share. Let's see if we can get up to 10,000 in the next few months. But anyway, no, I really appreciate your support. I enjoy your comments. I enjoy you watching. So until next time, stay safe, drive carefully, and I'll see you all again very soon with the next installment on Life on Cars. Bye now. Bye-bye.